Falcons fans, David's here. We got a big win yesterday, which was pretty awesome. I have a few things I wanted to cover before we jumped into the Falcons, though, so I will do that very quickly. I just want to give a big what up to Mr. Lewis, Ray Lewis. He's still in the playoffs. I'd love to see Ravens versus Falcons in the Super Bowl. That'd be great. Matt Ryan versus Joe Flacco. They both entered the league the same year. And Tony Gonzalez and Ray Lewis, both living legends, and they would be leaving the same year. So that'd be a good matchup. And I don't know. I like the underdogs in both matchups this weekend. But that's just my style, the underdog style. I like Ray Lewis because in 2007, after one of his buddies, teammates from University of Miami, was murdered, Sean Taylor. I saw him delivering a pregame speech before they played against the Patriots, who were destroying every team that they faced that year. And during the pregame speech, it was him and Ed Reed and a third defensive player. And he was crying. He's like, "Come on, guys, let's do this for Sean Taylor, our fallen brother." And it was pretty awesome. And that's when I became a fan of Ray Lewis. I don't know if he killed anyone. And personally, I can't say I don't care, but it has nothing to do with me, so whatever. I think he's a swell individual. My slogan / mantra yesterday was plenty of time, because I knew with 31 seconds the Falcons could drive down the field and Matt Bryant could nail a field goal, which he did. Thank God that pompous prick Pete Carroll called timeout to try to ice Matt Bryant. Had he not have done that, we would have lost the game. Had we lost the game, if we would have missed the field goal, it would have been Mike Smith's fault, because I don't understand why we didn't go for 2 points when Robert Sherman kept running offsides during the PAT. Twice. Like, go for 2, and then at worst the game would have been tied at the very end, and we wouldn't have lost by 1 point. That was stupid. A lot of bad coaching decisions in that game by Mike Smith. Clean it up, buddy. Clean it up. Can't mess around like that next week. Great first half of football. Everyone contributed pretty nicely. Even some guy named Chase Kaufman, who I thought was Tony Gonzalez, but I was like, that guy looks too white to be Tony G. Tony G's, one of my kind. You know what I mean? So I was watching the game with my girlfriend Jessica, and she was like, "Oh, look, the Falcons are up 20-0. There's no way they're going to lose now." And I was like, "No, you really have no idea. Like football, like, people come back. Like, please don't say that. You might have jinxed us." And she did jinx us, because we almost lost the game. So you can't ever count a team out until the game's officially over. I learned that in 2008 with Matty Ice and Mike Smith and this regime, when the Chicago Bears came to town, and we get the ball back with 11 seconds, and Matt Ryan completed this ridiculous pass to Michael Jenkins, who caught it to go out of bounds with 1 second left. And then Jason Elam came out and booted a 48-yarder. That was a great game. My buddy Steve-O, we were watching the game surrounded by not hundreds, but tons of Bears fans, and we had the lead the entire game. And so he and I, we're talking trash to all these Bear fans the entire game. And then when they scored with 11 seconds left in the game, they all turned on us and started throwing popcorn at us and just calling us trash, white trash. I'm not even white. And Steve-O was like, "Come on, man, let's get out of here. Let's beat traffic." I was like, "No, Steve, let's stay to the very end." He's like, "Fine, we will." And so we did. And then great things happened. So ever since that day, never, ever count a team out until the game's over. Great first half, like I said. Second half, not so much. We lost John Abraham, my man, 55, J.A. We need him back on Sunday. He's He's our defense. He creates all the pressure on the front defensive line, obviously. So I guess that's about it. I heard the fans at the game were pretty rough, so that's good. They closed down Club Crunk pretty early, so people were in their seats, a half hour before kickoff. So people were juiced, ready to rock and roll. It needs to be like that again this Sunday. I'll be down there. I might wear something a little ridiculous. We'll see what happens. Anyhow, I'm gonna play the video now. It's a from the pregame show of the NFL Network. It's it's like a comparison between the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Falcons. Terry Pendleton, John Smoltz, those guys. So enjoy. Bye bye. I'll see you later this week when I make my 49ers and Packers analysis video. Bye bye.
Hey, if there's anyone who knows the difficulty about bringing a sports championship to Atlanta, it's our Deion Sanders. Not just his Falcons, but also the Braves, who put together quite a roster of championship-caliber arms and bats with a manager in Bobby Cox to bring it all together back in the day. And it took 5 full seasons till they finally won it all. With the Falcons now in year 5 of the Mike Smith plan, our Steve Cipher sat down with a lot of familiar faces to Atlanta sports fans.
13 wins, 3 losses. Number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs.
Throw deep. Caught it. Touchdown. Atlanta.
4th postseason appearance in 5 years.
Intercepted.
And yet the doubters remain.
No matter how well the Falcons have done this year, there's always been this mindset across the country. It's like, yeah, well, what are they going to do in the postseason?
For whatever reason, we just haven't played our best ball at that time of the year. And when it comes to the postseason, it's difficult.
January has been a tough month for us over the years. We've had our struggles.
2008 season, a loss in Arizona. 2010, a loss at home to Green Bay. Last season, another loss to New York.
Again, Atlanta is turned away in the NFC playoffs. This one will linger.
3 playoff appearances, 0 wins.
Yeah, frustration is one that we think about. It's one that burns in our guts, no question about it.
I can't point to one thing, a specific thing that stops us, dictates us from being winners.
Some of the failures that we've had before are
I'm gonna dictate you from being a winner.
Future.
If misery loves company, Matt Ryan has it. Just across town. With those early 90s Braves who had their own postseason problems after going from worst to first in the division in 91.
Everybody else sits back and goes, this is what they need to do. This is what they need to do to win. It's not that easy.
You'd got to the finish line and ran out of gas. I mean, you're right there. You can see it.
But the Braves persevered and were eventually rewarded using strategies the Falcons seemed to favor, such as acquiring a veteran from Missouri to help on and off the field.
Terry Pendleton came to the Braves and was a great mentor. We've got guys like Tony Gonzalez, who we've added into our program. Tony's a great mentor.
We both have pretty good hands, too, I might add.
And with the veterans came youth, named Jones, then and now.
Closest thing to Chipper Jones probably would be Julio Jones, simply because he's got the most potential talent of a guy who can be here for a
Simply
long
because they
period
have the same last
The
name.
difference makers were the arms.
Baseball's a pitching game. It's all about the pitchers. You had John Smoltz with the Braves. We've got Matt Ryan. It's a quarterback-driven league. I really believe that. You're going to play as well as your quarterback.
Is Matt Ryan, Smoltz, Glavine, and Avery? I think he's a combination. I think he really is.
In Dimitrov's mind, the key combination is the one at the top.
I've analyzed up and down the relationship between 2 special men, Bobby Cox and John Sherholtz. The partnership at the top, to me, has always been of the utmost importance to set the tone.
If you don't have confidence in the top of the organization, it's very difficult. It does trickle down at some point into the players.
It took Smoltz and the Braves until 1995.
The team of the 90s has its world championship.
5 years after they'd finished in the cellar to win the World Series. Now the Falcons are into their 5th season since finishing last, looking, once again, to emulate the Braves.
No, we're just looking forward to success. We're tired of losing in the playoffs, getting to the playoffs. It's not a goal anymore.
I think it's a championship. I think that's why we're here working as hard as we are all the time, so we can, feel like we do have a successful year.
Welcome to Players.
Okay, so yeah, we are gonna go to the Super Bowl, and I'm really happy I started these silly video vlogs because I told you I started it because I thought we were gonna go to the Super Bowl, and we're only 60 minutes away, guys. 60 minutes. So keep the faith. Let's go. Rise up. Let's do it.